Hey, Katie, welcome back to another episode of By Its Cover. We have to record this really quickly because otherwise the airplanes are going to fly over Katie's house and it's going to ruin our recording.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to By Its Cover, a podcast where we talk about books that we pick out by their covers and
That we
read.
read.
I did that a little
Yep.
backwards. We're a little rusty. We took a little break.
We did take a little break.
Yeah.
Why did we take a break, Katie?
Because you were on Mars for a while.
Ugh.
And then
Yep.
and we were supposed to be reading a book called Girlfriend on Mars, and we didn't read it. And yeah.
Yep.
The stars
Our
aligned.
audience is our teacher, and we're in trouble now. We're going to get detention for not doing the homework.
That's right. Sorry.
Sorry.
We read a different book. Does that count?
Yes.
We just skipped ahead.
All right. As an audience member and your teacher, the any book is good book.
That's right. Take away that
Which
pressure.
was not the case when we were growing up. You had to read whatever was on the stupid list of books that they wanted you to read.
Mm-hmm.
Oppressionism and tyranny.
To be fair, the book that we did read that we're going to talk about today is on the list. We just skipped one. It's not like we read something off the list.
Right. So we're still being oppressed, is what you're saying.
Yeah. By our list that we made ourselves.
We're oppressing ourselves.
Okay, so what book are we reading today?
Today, well, we're not reading it today.
That's right.
We're talking about it today.
We're tired today. We're big tired.
I'm not.
I
You
am.
are.
I'm real tired. So what are we talking about today?
Z Word.
We didn't review that detail.
Hang on.
It has been a couple weeks, listeners, that we have been unfocused.
Why won't it come up? Oh, because it's two words. I put Z Word as one word, but Z Word is two words.
Z Word is two words.
Lindsay King Miller.
That's right.
Lindsay King Miller.
All right. So I picked out this book.
Mm-hmm.
We both read it.
Yep.
I think that let's describe the cover of this book, right?
Yep, do it.
Do you have it up?
Yeah, but this recording software said if you switch tabs, you won't record it anymore.
Nuh-uh.
It did, but I'll switch anyway, and in post, you'll know whether or not I was successful. Okay, so this book, let me just grab the cover really quick.
We'll do it too, so just in case. Hey, listener, what's coming next is Jake's description of the cover of the book. So it worked. He's wrong.
Sort of pop art, when is pop art? 60s? 70s? Anyway, pop art, and it says the at the top. It's got a giant Z in the middle, and then it says word on the bottom. And then it says the first pride was a riot. The last pride is a bloodbath. It's got like a can of soda on it, a brain, pizza, and an axe.
That's awesome.
And two people with long hair kissing.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And hands, like zombie hands.
Or a rave.
Or a rave.
Could be zombie hand.
Kind of, I don't know if people rave with their hands quite like that.
Totally. When I rave, this is how I rave.
Zombie rave.
Zombie rave. Let's go.
Okay, so I picked out this book. I saw the cover of it and I was like, oh my goodness. And I think the back said something like the queer zombie novel you didn't know you needed, or something like that on the back. And I was like, hooked. I want to read this.
Queer zombies.
Yep. Queer zombies. It delivered.
It delivered? Okay.
It delivered. I think it delivered. It was a really fun read for me. Did you like it?
I liked it.
You did.
Yep.
So I guess I'll just talk really briefly about the plot.
What's this about, Katie? Sorry, we are recording virtually, and I'm very passive virtually. So that's the reason. If you hear pauses and shit, it's because when I'm on calls at work, I don't like talking.
You wait for a cue.
Yeah, I let other people talk and I just listen and I get positive feedback for that.
Yeah, that's what they like in business land.
Yeah, they like to talk.
Mm-hmm. So
So what's this about, Katie? What's
so
this book about?
this book.
Katie, what's this book about? Hey,
Oh
Katie,
my God!
what is this book
Shut
about?
up and let me tell you.
Okay.
Okay, so this book follows main
If
character.
I interrupt you right now, it's very corporate.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it is. You just keep talking right over, right? You just
Yeah,
keep
I just
going.
keep.
Train roll it. What is it called?
What's
Steamroll it.
Katie? Why won't you tell us what this book is about?
I'm really proud. I promise. I'm trying. I'm trying to get the words out and still be professional. Oh my goodness. So this book follows Wendy, main character, bisexual, and she is going to a party. It's Pride weekend. They're in Arizona, I think. And she's going to a party for Pride where she, runs into her ex, Leah, who is getting involved with couple Sam and Aurelia, polyamorous lesbian couple. And, follows those kinds of like feelings of watching your ex really enjoy being with somebody else. Um, so she's at this party, and like, long story short, there's a zombie outbreak going on, and they're trying to figure it out, and then trying to figure out how to save Pride because the whole thing is going to be going down at Pride. It's kind of insane. I mean, please take yourself off mute. It makes me anxious.
I am off mute.
Oh, okay.
I
It
had to
was just
cough and then
so
drink water.
silent that I was just like, I can't do this. The pressure.
Oh, that's good. That means
the
that my
corporate pressure
microphone's
is
working.
just so heavy.
Yes. Now you know what it's like to work with me. I just sit in silence. The expectation of you to say something.
Right.
Hey, where were you?
Okay, so how much detail should I go in? Because I don't want to give away the plot twist.
Okay, let's not what's it called? Let's bury the lead a little bit and walk backwards. Walk backwards.
Okay.
I mean, you kind of gave the plot away already. So I guess we're doing this backwards.
Sorry, listeners.
Sorry, listeners. You know it's about zombies, but they didn't until like halfway through the book.
That's true.
They did the whole like coy zombies aren't real denial type of stuff, right? Which is always kind of fun to figure out how creative characters can be around. This is not a zombie outbreak, right?
Yes.
Which is as a reader you knew immediately,
right?
Not from the cover though. From the cover, I knew it was a book about queers because the Z thing, right? Like there's a Z in the way that you say gender neutral pronouns, right? No, that's X.
That's X. Well, there is
it's
a
really
Z
close
in
to
Zare.
Z.
There is Z there. There is Z in Zare. I've never known anybody that uses those pronouns. I think most people I know use they, them, or she, her, or he, him. But there is a Zare as an option.
There you go. That's how I knew.
You didn't think zombie when it said the Z word, and it had brains and blood, and the first Pride was a riot, the last Pride is a bloodbath. That didn't give it away.
No, because there's a lot of reasons that Pride can be bloodbath. Zombies wasn't the first thing that came to my mind.
But the back, there was a quote, I swear. There was a quote on this book somewhere. So I picked this out by its cover.
I just saw the front.
That's true. So I picked this out by its cover, and what made you decide to read it?
You texted me and said, "Hey, this is a fiction. This is a work of fiction." Mm-hmm. So I said, "Great! I need something that's a work of fiction."
Well, our books prior to this were a little heavy too.
Yeah, I think you also said, "Warning: there's smut."
Oh yeah. I sent you a text that said this book is starting out really strong. And then I sent you another one that said, "Oh," like an hour later, I'm like, "Oh, there's smut warning."
Yep. There's smut. And then I think you said something about it being queer, but I don't remember.
Yeah, I love that. It was cool. Yeah. It was cool. I liked it.
the first part of this book, let's talk about that really quick,
Okay.
where Wendy and Leia and Sam and Aurelia and Bo are all at this party, and they've got
And Logan.
the Logan, and they've got the Seabrook seltzer, right? And it's social anxiety 1,000,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, wow,
Yeah.
that's so much. Being at a party, social anxiety 1,000. Seeing your ex, social anxiety 1,000, right? Your ex kissing on other people, social anxiety 1,000. So just all of it. You're like, this book started out really strong. And I started reading this book and I said, oh, I don't know if I'm going to finish this book because it starts out with social anxiety and smut.
But it delivered on that social anxiety. Like you felt it while you were reading it.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the author did a great job
Yeah.
at describing the social anxiety. Now, some of the dynamics of that social anxiety is not something I've had experience with.
Right.
So it's a little bit more fiction for me than maybe others who are reading the book.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good in terms of like feeling the social anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how much do we give away from this? So she's at the
All of it.
party. Okay.
Yeah.
So she's at the party and she hooks up with Logan, a drag queen, and here's, like Leah and Sam and Aurelia in the other room. Like, again, that social anxiety of like, oh, my ex is here hooking up with somebody else and I can hear her enjoying herself, right? But shit goes wrong like pretty quickly. Somebody needs to go home because they're like really, really wasted, is what they thought, but also tries to bite the person who's trying to help them. One of the, I think that it was written like main characters and then segment where you hear you get the person's experience who is turning into a zombie.
Which was so dang cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Every time somebody died in this book, you got their perspective.
Yes. It was so cool. And I think that we were with Mike. I think Mike was the first one that we figured out turned into a zombie. He was really, really wasted, went into his truck or whatever, and then he was very angry. And then we didn't hear from him again until later.
No, he got super angry and then he tried to run them over.
That was later though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he comes back. He makes a comeback. It's like a little like a hint that something is wrong.
Oh right, yeah. Mystery, bury the lead.
Yeah. Yep. So they end up like, I can't remember. Oh, after this part, this part was such great horror. So Wendy and Logan have sex and the condom breaks.
That was the most horror about this entire thing.
It was
the aftermath of what is she going to do because the condom broke.
So fucking bad. So she is going, like, they're going to the pharmacy the next day after trying to figure out, like, they're trying to help. I cannot remember the girl's name. They're trying to make sure somebody got home or something. And they're on their way to the pharmacy, and the first pharmacy that they go to is, like, all closed up, and there's blood on the floor that they can see through the window, and they're like, what the fuck is this? And then they go to the next pharmacy option, and that person does not agree with birth control or does not agree with, I don't think birth control or, I don't know about birth control.
He was anti-contraceptive.
Yeah, he was anti-contraceptive. And so he would not give her the plan B.
Right.
And they had no other option. That was like, this whole thing just kept coming back, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then later, when she's digging through Leah's purse and finds it looking for plan B and has to tell Leah, like, yeah, I slept with somebody and the condom broke or whatever. Like, as a woman who's been in a relationship, who is a bisexual and has been in a relationship with someone who identifies as a lesbian, like that hate, like that just like, oh, like I hope that has changed for bisexuals. I'm not sure that it has, but the betrayal, like how the fuck could you sleep with a guy? Like I felt anxiety when Wendy was like, I'm looking for a plan B. I'm like, oh shit, we're going to find out who Leah is, right? Is Leah the type that's like bisexuals get all the love? Or is Is Leah cool with it? Like, oh man, anxiety. I still feel it.
I didn't even think about that
Yeah,
because I've never been in that situation, which is why a lot more of this book is fiction for me.
yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, yep. We don't have to go there.
I think in general, people should stop judging each other and just calm the fuck down.
Yep. Sleep with who you want. Anyway, so they're going through, they find like the town's deserted, they find the car that supposedly like somebody took that girl home in, and it's on the side of the road and the doors are open and we don't know where they are. Like, as you can imagine a zombie story unfolding, this is how it unfolds.
Right. One pharmacy at a time.
One pharmacy at a time.
Which is, I mean, not too far from the truth, maybe, right? You get
Right.
bit, you need Band-Aids, you go to the pharmacy, you get Band-Aids.
Yep.
The road to the apocalypse will be paved with the pharmacies that are broken into.
Pretty much. So there is some like misgivings about a company called Seabrook, who is a seltzer company. Throughout the book, like, Seabrook is sponsoring Pride. It's just this like corporate nonsense. They don't, this just, we support Pride because we want to make money kind of deal. And Seabrook keeps coming up, kind of. Leah has been working with Seabrook to, like, for that sponsorship. And then it turns out Seabrook is the company behind the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, which was super cool because Seabrook was sponsoring Pride by giving away free alcohol too. It's like a whole advertisement thing.
Yeah.
But they put zombie into the seltzer.
Yes.
And so if you drank the seltzer, if you liked seltzers, free alcohol, then you were a zombie. And the whole point, we find out later in the book, the whole point around doing this was to make Pride events look scary so that other states didn't do Pride events. Right?
So horrible.
I was like, wow, look at all the queers. They eat each other's brains and everything, right? That's not normal. That's another reason to hate them, right? No other state should do Pride events.
What was funny is that it seemed like they didn't know, like the rep didn't know that it was going to be that bad. Like it was going to be some kind of sick, and then Seabrook comes in with the cure or whatever. But then it turned into a bloodbath, and they weren't expecting it.
Right, yeah. Because they did trials on animals or something, right? And the animals did go feral, but they didn't do any trials on humans. This was the trial on humans, right?
So
you find out too that like a conservative senator was in on it as well, because they were trying to also boost their platform based off of, I don't know, dangerous queers, right?
That whole thing, the whole scene where okay, who is your favorite? I just want to say my favorite character in this book, Sunshine.
100% Sunshine.
Oh my gosh.
What a badass. So awesome. For those who haven't read the book yet, let's forward the story a little bit before we talk about Sunshine. Mm-hmm. So they're at a party, condom breaks, they're now in a zombie apocalypse, obviously because the condom broke.
Yeah.
They can't find any plan B. They have to run over people. People are trying to fight them.
Sam gets shot by the police.
Sam gets shot by the police because they call the police. They're like, hey, our friend is insane. Please show up and just shoot the Sam, which is traumatizing.
Oh, yeah.
And then they make it to Beau's house, and Beau is sort of this Russian motorcycle riding woman that lives off the grid, basically. So that becomes sort of their safe haven. And they need pizza, or they want to eat, and so they call the pizza company because previously at the party, Sunshine, who's the pizza delivery driver, said, anytime, what did she say? Something like rain or shine, even during an apocalypse, we'll deliver pizza for you.
Yeah, they said that.
Yeah, they said that. So so we find out about this character Sunshine, who is just a total badass. Mm-hmm. Their truck is outfitted with spikes in the front. And
I feel like every time we see Sunshine, the truck is outfitted a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah.
It's
So
amazing.
it went from a beat up truck to a beat up truck with
Spikes.
thorns in the front of it, spikes in the front of it, to a beat up truck with spikes in the front of it and a freaking flamethrower, right? And they're out there delivering pizza during the apocalypse, right? What was it called? Apocalypse Pizza or something, right?
Yeah,
Was the
it was
name of
something
the
like
business.
that. Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, Sunshine was a great character.
Yeah. Yeah, Sunshine to the rescue. It felt like. And I think at one point they needed to get to Bo's house, but they didn't know how to get there. So then they called a pizza delivery because they figured that Sunshine would then take them to Bo's house when they were delivering the pizza.
And they did.
And they did. They're
Yep.
like just a hero. Um, that was so much fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. That whole character and the apocalypse pizza as a concept and everything was great.
So good. So they end up at Pride trying to prevent like everybody from getting the Seabrook.
Well, this
And
is the main event now. Hang on.
okay.
So
Yeah, what's the
the
main
book
event?
progresses from the social anxiety to the zombies to bisexual versus lesbian anxiety, right? And judgment on sleeping with a man.
I don't think that
Then
was
you find
actually in there.
out,
I don't think there was any judgment in there. I thought there was going to be and there wasn't, which I
yeah,
was
that was the
very
anxiety
pleased
part,
with. That was my
right? That
anxiety.
was the anxiety part.
Yeah.
Um, and then you find out soon after that Leah is in and on it,
Hmm.
right? Like she knew that Seabrook was gonna poison all of the people that drank seltzer for Pride, right? But the main event hasn't happened yet,
Right.
right? The main event is this huge parade, concert type of deal, and sort of everything leads up to that as the climax of the story,
Hmm.
right? So go ahead, Katie. That's where we are now.
Yeah, that's where we
Is
are.
they're at Pride. So what happens at Pride?
They're rushing to Pride to try to get, not allow Seabrook to ruin the event and make sure people don't drink the Seabrook. And they get there and it's too late. Like there are just zombies everywhere. And they need to draw attention. They're really trying. I can't remember what they're trying to do. They're trying to destroy as many zombies as possible, I believe. So they end up going to the stage, and does her. Logan does,
Their drag skit.
yeah. Logan does their drag skit, their drag show, singing, dancing, drawing all the attention to them on the stage, and then they're throwing flares? What are they throwing at that point? Because the
Fireworks.
flamethrowers, yeah, fireworks, that's right. They're throwing the fireworks. Aurelia goes
Right. So the
over.
big idea was they realized that the zombies are attracted to noise.
Hmm.
And so they make a ton of noise. They play music and they set off fireworks, and Logan is up on stage doing parts of their drag skit, right?
Hmm.
And really just making as much noise as possible to get as many people as possible in the same area.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
then Sunshine shows up with flamethrower.
Yeah. But why were they trying to distract? Because the goal, they didn't want to destroy all their friends. There was something that they were trying to distract from.
Well, they were trying to go there to tell everyone
That's right.
that they were drinking zombie water, zombie alcohol. And so, but they found out once they got there that it was already a bloodbath. People were already eating each other.
Yeah.
And so I think the objective changed to survival,
Okay.
right? How can we prevent all of these people from going and infecting others?
Right.
And the idea was, let's get them all around the stage and then we'll blow them up with fireworks or distract them with fireworks. And then it did turn into a total bloodbath.
It did.
Yeah.
They're in the back of the truck and they're like Bo's driving the truck and they're just like, oh my God.
They got
Aurelia's
the
got a
baseball
sword and
bats.
a
They've
baseball.
got the chainsaw. Yeah.
They
It was
got the
just,
chainsaw. This scene right here for me, it was like being in Left 4 Dead.
oh
Do
yeah.
you remember
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
game? Oh my God, I was
Yep.
so obsessed with that game. And it was like being in an episode. Yeah, I guess it did do like episodes. It was being in the
Yeah.
final episode of Left 4 Dead, where it's just like
It gave
zombies
me,
everywhere.
it gave me zombie carnival vibes. What was that
Yeah.
zombie movie where the kids go
Oh,
to the carnival and Twinkie? This is where we find out that Twinkies have no shelf life. Like they have a forever shelf life.
Oh my God.
There's
What
some
movie was that?
movie. Yeah, don't know the name of it. Doesn't matter. But it was a really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the vibes that I got from it too. Was like the make a lot of noise and drive
Yes.
around in cool post apocalyptic vehicles and everything.
Was that with what's his face?
Yeah.
Okay. And the other guy? The other.
Yep.
What's
Mhm.
his face and the other guy?
Yep. And some other girl.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So they're doing that, and then they end up trying to go to Seabrook to stop them there and
Yeah.
expose them, like just expose the whole thing. And they do expose them, but nobody believes it. It becomes this like conspiracy thing.
Right. Well, there's a little bit missing there too. So
Yeah.
after they go blow up all their friends, super traumatizing.
Yes.
They go to Seabrook to get them to stop with the zombie alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And Leia shows up at this point and she's like, "Oh, I've changed. I've had a change of heart. I'm no longer working with the devil. I'm going to help you."
Yep.
And so she takes Sunshine's truck,
Mm-hmm.
rams it into Seabrook, spills all the zombie alcohol.
Everywhere.
All the zombie alcohol seeps into her body because she was cut with glass. And so her blood is mixing with the zombie alcohol, and the vaccine doesn't work anymore that she took earlier. And
Or
so
the
she
treatment.
turns into a zombie. Yeah, the treatment.
Yeah.
So she turns into a zombie and someone shoots her. Um, but it was like a whole dramatic scene
It
where they're
was.
trying to convince, super evil. I think it was Courtney. Courtney was like corporate evil type of person, trying to make all the people that are at Pride zombies. It's a whole complex orchestra that ends with
Yeah.
Leia driving the truck into the factory to spill all of the zombie alcohol.
Mm-hmm. And then
And then it
dies.
turns into conspiracy because, oh yeah, and then dies. And then it turns into conspiracy because corporate cover up, like it was successful what they were
Mm-hmm.
trying to do, right? Pride is violent and dangerous, and you shouldn't have pride events. And other like gay bars and stuff outside of that state started also having problems because Seabrook was able to get their zombie alcohol into other people, right? So there's a whole uh, conspiracy thing. And then social media was in on it. Like you couldn't post the truth
Right.
because then the social media platform would ban your account for misinformation, right?
The undertones in this book were both sad and hilarious because I feel like they were real. Like the author took these real things, police violence towards LGBT members of the community.
LGBTQIA plus.
Right. Yep. So police violence there, corporate nonsense,
Right.
corporate like bad behavior,
Right.
and what else? I feel like it was corporate bad behavior, whatever,
Government
and
cover up.
government cover up
Right.
and social media.
Political.
Yes, all of that. The author took all of that and said, "Okay, I'm going to put all of this into this book. How am I going to do it?" And it like
Right.
ramps it up to an absurd level, specifically for the book, but they are real things.
Yep.
Like I don't know if we know any corporate conspiracies to create zombies yet, but corporate conspiracies are there, right? Corporate bad
Totally.
behaviors there. It was just,
Yep.
yeah, those were the undertones that were both sad and hilarious to me.
The way that it was portrayed was definitely
The way
hilarious.
that it was portrayed was hilarious, but the underlying thing was sad because it's real.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
100%.
What else about this book? Do you recommend people read it?
Yeah, I think it's just a fun read.
Yeah.
Take a little mix of reality in with a lot of fiction,
Yeah.
and it's a fun thing to read. I don't think I've ever read a sort of queer zombie book, so that was a lot of fun.
It was. I agree with you. I loved
Yeah,
reading this.
you want people to read this book?
Yeah. I loved reading it. I thought it was so much fun. I loved having a bisexual main character. And as I always do, I love that there was a polyamorous couple in here. That made me pretty happy. There's a drag queen, there's a non-binary pizza driver badass. Like it was just hilarious and amazing. And just like the back of the book said, it was the queer zombie novel I didn't know I needed. It delivered.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I think the only other zombie novel that I can think of that I actually liked, I don't remember the name of it, but it was also unique in that it was zombies on boats.
Zombies on boats. I mean, was that in World War Z or not?
No. This
No.
is like a small, I think a small author. But I honestly don't know how many people have read
A
it.
small author.
Yeah, like maybe 4'8" or something. So, but the premise is instead of following a main character that has zombie problems on big Earth, round Earth, they go to flat ocean.
Small author on
and
Big Earth.
the small author writes book on zombie Big Earth.
God, I miss you.
So instead of zombie apocalypse on round Earth, they go to flat ocean, and the main character has a sailboat, and then he finds other people that also have boats, and he makes a flotilla of people, and he's the commodore, and they go to boats that are yachts, big mega yachts, and they clear them of zombies, and then they add them to their fleet of like boats. And now he originally just wanted to survive alone, but now he's like he's creating a new government, and like they find islands full of zombies, and they have to go find food on those islands and everything. Right? It's a fun, totally fun, but it's a unique take on it. So I enjoy the unique take on zombie novels.
What's the name of that book? You don't know, do you?
I already said I don't know.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I need more coffee.
Hang on, I'm gonna Google it.
Okay.
Zombie, boats, water, ocean, zombies. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
No. Okay, let me look it up again. Okay. Book about book about guy who sails away during zombie apocalypse.
To Sail a Darkling Sea?
Ooh, wait.
No.
This is the Black Tide Rising.
The boat Zombie Survivors?
Oh, I think I've read To Sail a Darkling Sea. With human civilization annihilated by his biological zombie plague, a red tag fleet of yachts and freighters known as Wolf Squadron scours the Atlantic searching for survivors within every abandoned... Yes, this is it.
Okay.
John Ringo, yes, this is it. Except I think this is book 2. Book 1 is Under a Graveyard Sky.
Okay.
Yeah.
Add it to the list.
These are pretty good. I've already read them, so they don't count.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's all we really have to talk about this book, right?
Yep.
But we do
did
have
a whole
big
book.
news.
We did it canonically. We did it cohesively.
So
everyone
cohesive.
completely understands the story end to end and the timeline. We did such a great job.
You're welcome.
Really like pat on the back for us. And part of Katie's announcement, I imagine, is, we do such a good job. So what, Katie?
So why not support this show?
Why not support this show? How?
We now have a Patreon. We've talked
a real
about
one,
it. We have a
not
real
a
one.
fake one.
We have not put a lot of thought into our tiers of support. So we currently
I thought we put a thought into it last episode.
Nope. Oh yeah, I mean, we have
$5,000
not
tier,
set up
the
the $15,000
$15,000
mystery secret tier yet, though.
You haven't?
No. Right now we have a $5 support tier, and for
I'm gonna
$5 a month, you can support this podcast. And we are going to add more tiers once we talk about it. But I'm thinking there will be more tiers.
Obviously. What do they get for the $5?
The pleasure of knowing that they're supporting this show. That's it.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's really a lot. We should up it.
Yeah. I mean, we could do a $10. We could do a $10 one where we, read out your names or something, or pick out a book, or, you get to pick out a book. I don't know. There's all sorts of thoughts I've got going on in my brain, but we have not talked about it.
Let us know how you want to give us money and what you want in return for it.
That's right. Yeah, please let us know. Join the Patreon and then let us know, and maybe we'll do that.
Let us know how you want to support us financially.
This show's awesome. We know it brings you a lot of laughs. Why not pay
Yep.
for those laughs for $5 a month?
You could get it for free, but also you could not.
So funny.
Yep.
So yeah, join our Patreon. Thanks.
It's a perfect plug. From the hesitation and then like, where's Jake going to the like, oh, we don't have the $15,000 tier yet. Oh, great plug.
Thanks. So our next book is
it Future?
Oh yeah, it is The Future by Naomi Alderson.
Don't know. Haven't read it yet. Need to get my ass in gear.
Yeah, for real. That one does have an audiobook.
Summer way too much.
Yeah.
I tried to listen to the audiobook on that one, but I think I'm going to go back to paper.
Okay, I liked the audiobook on that one. It had like several different narrators, and
we'll talk about it in the next episode of By Its Cover.
Yes.
We won't talk about it right now.
That's right.
Because
read the book.
That's next episode, because then people won't listen to the next one.
True.
Yeah.
But I'm
not.
Katie,
anything else?
No, I'm not reading Girlfriend on Mars until the fall or winter when I have the capacity for physical books again. Sorry.
All right, then I need to find other books to read.
I've got one. I'm reading The Art Thief.
I've already read that.
Oh, okay, well there we go. That's going to be after The Future then.
Okay, I'll go read the Spark Notes to remember it.
Okay.
Or Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes. Spark
Notes?
I don't know.
What were the notes that you bought on? What were the notes that you bought from Borders bookstore?
I don't know. I didn't buy them.
You just read them. And
I did. I read the
books. Yep.
And that's why Borders is out of business. All right, guys.
I don't think that's why.
No, probably
but
not.
Nice try.
It's all because of me, not buying.
Bye, Katie.
Bye, Jake. Bye.
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 Bye.